Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever you're watching around the world. You are joining the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. I'm Energy Dan, I'll be your host and commentator this evening, and joining me in the commentary box, as always, is our very good friend, last season's F2 champion, the Wieslander. Wires, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm excited again, as always. Nice to be back with you again. Obviously, last week we had some issues. But everything is sorted now, so hopefully we can watch an exciting Grand Prix weekend all in one evening.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible, mate. I mean, obviously you've already been around this track once this week. You had a pretty good outing on Monday, did you not?
Yeah, I did. Had some very nice fighting with two other guys. So we really proved that. Oh, it rains.
It's wet qualifying.
Oh my God.
Sorry to our viewers, but Dan does get excited when it's raining.
Yeah, we all do.
Let me just sort out. So yeah,
but I was just saying that we proved with the three of us and some other guys as well that it can be very fun to do some racing around this track, and the track really suits racing, so that'd be exciting. But with some rain, it gets even more exciting. I'll just check on the weather gurus whether it will also be rain during the race.
That would be good. Yeah. So while Warris is doing that, obviously we are in where the hills are alive. It is Austria. A pretty simple circuit, a very high speed circuit, but it is a penalty heavy circuit. It really is. So was that? Let's look who was coming out then. Tony. There we go. Tony Wise coming out first by the looks of it, unless I've missed someone. So yeah, it's going to be exciting this, not only for myself and Warris, but for our viewers. Wet qualifying in Austria. Oof, it's going to be a difficult one. That, I mean, the undulation alone within the braking acceleration. You can just see now Tony White coming down that hill. You know, the braking phase coming downhill. Look at that left sweeping downhill. It's already looking twitchy. Is Tony White? I'm right on board with him. Yeah, so this qualifying is going to be difficult. You could very well see people that are really good in the wet qualifying up the front where they might not normally be up the front. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting qualifying session indeed, and I'm just waiting eagerly to see if it's going to be a wet race as well. But we'll soon hear from Wieslander about that.
Oh, about that. I'm just hearing that the quali will be wet to dry, so we could see a lot of improvements at the end if it gets dry. Race all dry, so the rain clouds will get by and out of Austria, it seems, for the race in a few minutes. But for now, very exciting qualifying session, as some people are out, but it's actually a bit of a gamble, knowing that these lap times won't mean anything by the end, probably.
Yeah. I mean, you have got, if it's a wet to dry qualifying, you have got the how do I say this? If someone's doing fast laps and then they go into the soft tyre or whatever tyre they choose at the end when it's dry, and they don't put a lap together, that's going to be seriously. You could see a lot of people make mistakes. Going from wet to dry, it's not easy.
No, surely not. You know, because you are just trying to get used to the wet track, and then when it gets dry, to suddenly step it up to the max level you can do is very difficult, and it's difficult to get to the limit of your track time. So it's always tricky when it rains.
We'll just see what Tony White does in the wet or slightly damp. He's a 1:15.627. That's not bad at all. Oh, Ferocious Dan beats him though, 1:14.4, even better time. Nick J. Thompson. Oh, Nick's no! Oh, Nick's kept it in though. Oh,
he has survived.
Wow. So we just, he survived, mate. We just saw Nick have a bit of a tank slapper out of the last turn. I don't know how he managed not to wreck his car. He's only lost his left wing end plate, so yeah, really lucky from Nick there. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say, Warris, is with it being a damp or wet track, then going to drying, the track temperature is going to be so much cooler.
Yeah, and there will be no grip at all because
yeah,
all
exactly.
the rubber just flows off. Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Estimax can do. Oh, Estimax jumps up to P2, 1:14.861. Fair play. Matty, let's see what Matty can do. Sorry for flicking through there, shouldn't have done that. So yeah, mate, guys, if you're watching, give us a quick vote or your comments on the track map that we're seeing. We always like to please our viewers, so do let us know if you don't want the track map on. We're more than happy to get rid of it if you don't like it, but I kind of like it, Warris. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good to get a sort of view of where how the track goes.
Yeah, I think it's good for coming up towards.
And you can still see through it, so. So where is everyone on track? Matty's now coming to the end of the lap, I guess.
Well, this is the corner that's going to matter in the race. Cutting that and not going like that's a penalty corner on the left there. It's almost an instant penalty. So
let's see.
Oh, not bad at all. 1:14.9 for Matty. So it looks like we've got. I imagine we'll have people doing a lot of laps. They won't come in and out, I don't think.
No, exactly. And it's also the question when the dry weather will come, obviously, because say it will come right at the end of qualifying and the track just isn't right for dries. It's good to have at least a time. So that's the only thing we don't know. But it doesn't seem like it is raining anymore. It just seems to be damp right now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, just for our viewers watching on track, probably thinking who Jim the Gooner 46 is. Jim the Gooner is actually an old Invictus veteran. He's replacing Conti, and he was actually Season 6 champion. So welcome to Jim the Gooner. Sorry we've only caught you this far in the season, but hopefully Jim the Gooner will be joining us next season as well. So welcome back to an Invictus veteran. Always good to see you, and he goes 5th. So yeah, fair play to Jim. So welcome Jim the Gooner.
Yeah, always good to see some new people or some people getting back into the league. To see those numbers getting pumped up. So we're rooting for him tonight. He's capable of driving well, so we should probably see some good driving now.
I mean, it's let's call it the prodigal sons of Invictus have returned. It's another one that we had quite a few return over the last few seasons. It's nice to see. But on screen right now is our championship leader, Lozak. Now, I've actually spoken to Lozak in the paddock this evening, and in preparation of the possibility of moving up at the end of this, he's actually running no assists like yourself last season, Warris. So if Lozak can seal the championship today, which in all fairness he only needs to finish 5th or 6th with the fastest lap to do so, if he does that while on no assist for the first time or minimum time, then I'll have to tip my cap to the lad. That's super impressive. He's had an amazing season. He's also equalled the most wins in a season. I think he's tied with about 4 or 5 people. I think that includes yourself. Oh, was that going off in the background on the last turn? They've gone now, but was it Nick? No, it wasn't Nick. Maybe Nick actually going slow. But yeah, so as I was saying about Lozak, he's no assists, and the wins this season equal yourself, I believe, Wiselander. And if he gets another win tonight, I think that's him leading the win tally in a season on his own. Ferocious Dan, 1:14.099. I believe it's getting slightly drier. What do you think?
Yeah, we're seeing some people putting on the softs in the pits, but that really shows. Tony Y now coming out for the first time on soft tires. So that's brave.
Yeah, we've got Sab and RG as well.
That the track is good enough at this point, or that they at least think it's good enough. But as we were talking about Lozak, I think he just suddenly being on no assist for the first time. in a race like this, I suppose he just wants to be clean, and then that 5th or 6th should easily come with its pace. I'm not expecting him to be super aggressive or something. It wouldn't be very smart to do in such a position. I think he just wants to claim the championship and then move on to F1, which he really deserves with a pace like this. So it's exciting to see what he's going to do tonight.
I think I'll have to chip in and just say I think it's there's a big step between equal performance and no assists. I think if our viewers are watching and don't understand fully what that is, basically no assists is exactly what it says, no assist. So there's no racing line, no brake assist, no traction control, literally nothing. It's the driver in the car. And to go from Formula 2 equal performance, where we allow assists, to then go fully no assists, it's a massive, massive step. So, I mean, I think you had the benefit, Warislander, of being quite confident on no assists during the last season when you were champion. So, I suppose your transition's been pretty good, but for Lozak, who I don't think's really done no assist that much, I think it's going to be very difficult for him. But you know, all the best luck to him if he does. He probably is going to seal this, not necessarily today, but by the end of the season. He's very commendable what he's doing. To take that step to no assists, I think people need to realise exactly the difference between the two.
Yeah.
It's a big step. It really is.
Yeah, I think it is a big step, but it's also, as Nick puts in the quickest time of everyone with a
on the intermediates as well.
Oh, that's still quite. Yeah, that's quite good. As people are now going to set their first laps, Tony White coming around on a few corners. This is one of the most trickiest corners on the track. You really have to use the rear to get through the corner.
You do.
Look very tidy.
He'll go top. Yeah, 109.095. Brilliant.
So that shows that the track is still not very grippy, as normally you would expect 1.5s or 1.4s. So that really shows that the track isn't totally dry. But I think we can see the track gripping over the next 6-7 minutes. So I'm expecting that at the end of this qualifying session, the times will maybe be even 2-3 seconds quicker.
Just on board with Matty now, coming around the last corner. He goes a little bit wide on the curb, misses the grass. I think my apologies, he's going on a faster lap now. That was my fault. I think it's Mr. Steen then. Yeah, it should be Mr. Steen next, unless you can tell me otherwise, Waris.
Yeah, I think it's Mr. Steen in the lead.
So I think this is Mr. Steen's, is it his 3rd consecutive season now?
In this league?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure I remember Steen being my first time commentating and my 2nd season. And this is my 3rd, so yeah, I think it is. I might be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Steen's been there from when I started doing commentating.
And don't forget, he's also a driver that has switched from assist to no assist this season, so that's also very brave. Obviously, you still have the choice to use no assist in this league, but most people don't.
Oh, and he goes quickest. 106.961. He's broken the 107s.
So it seems like Tony did make a mistake on that lap then.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just go
the track has dried very quickly now, but Matty going even quicker.
About to go to Matty then as well. So let's go to Esti Mats. So just for any of our viewers that are watching, the benefit of no assists is you get better traction. If you can control the wheel slip, you do get better drive, because with traction control, the traction control itself limits the amount of torque going through the wheels, and thus reducing tyre slip. But if you can control that yourself through throttle control, you get much better drive. You get the full engine power at your disposal. As we see Esti Mats come around the corner, what's he going to do? 105. Oh, 105.7! Wow! Brilliant lap for Esti Mats. Now, Waris, what would you expect? Lozak jumps up, 105.848. Waris, what would you expect to see as a true fast-pace qualifying lap round here?
In the best conditions possible, or in these conditions?
Best conditions possible.
Well, the best time I have seen over the past week is a 1:03.9.
Okay, so.
But that's very quick.
But that shows you the difference. Oh, ferocious damn.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that still shows you the difference. That I think, if that's what you mean, between a slightly damp and not grit-in track.
Yeah,
and
that's it, yeah.
a perfect track. Yeah, exactly.
So there's a massive difference in the difference in track from being wet and cold to a lovely dry track. So yeah, it's very interesting to see. Obviously, Colin J still in the pits. We've still got Colin J, Sab, Captain Steve, and Jacob all to set laps. Now this could be, cut me off if I'm wrong, Boris, but Colin J, Sab, Captain Steve, and Jacob, are they just waiting for the track to rubber in and do their like a one-shot qualifying, so to speak? MJ Coop won 17.
Another quick lap. Yeah, but I was just going to say, you can see that the track gets better and better with probably the second, because every time another car gets over the line, he's quickest, and that really shows that the track is getting better, like not minute by minute, but second by second even.
Yeah. I mean, welcome to all our guys watching this stream. I've not watched your comments as of yet. I will run through them in between the session. But yeah, welcome James, welcome Barry. Who else we got on the stream? Yeah, I think it's just James and Barry so far on the stream. Welcome guys who are commenting. Who's next to set a fast? Everyone's coming. Do you think they've got enough time to get out here, Morris?
Yeah, it's only 1 minute lap, so they should be able to get it.
We'll see MJ Coop. Let's see what he's doing. Let's ride on board with MJ Coop. We've not had an on board for a while actually.
And normally,
yeah, he's coming in.
Yeah, he's coming in. But normally, it doesn't matter that much whether you go 1 minute earlier or later. But I think now it does. Everyone wants to be the last one over the line. So that's why we see people waiting. And that maybe we can see a scenario we did in Monza early this actual F1 season.
Yeah.
Where people just couldn't get a time in because they all wanted to be last. As everyone still needs to come out, and if they have to find a gap, that's going to be a serious problem.
Come on, Sab. What's Sab going to do? What's Sab going to do? Come on, Sab. Sab in second place with a 105.339. Get in, Sab. Well done, mate. So there, Sab's setting his pace now. Now, I think that's Sab pretty much done, because it wouldn't be beneficial to go again on those softs, because then you lose the tyre life when you finally go.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've got Tony Y, I think might be the next one. He's on 0 laps. But yeah, James Hook saying, my man, Ferocious Dan. So yeah, Ferocious Dan, you do have a fan in the form of James Hook, who is the Welsh wonder. James was very impressed by Ferocious Dan's pace in the races that he's watched this season. So, Ferocious Dan, if you're watching this back after the race, meet James. He's your biggest idol, mate.
Now the sun even peeking through, that's going to increase the track temperature dramatically.
It does look brighter, it does.
Which can really get tenths of maybe even. Still some people on outlaps with a few seconds remaining. Let's see who's last on track.
I don't know about you guys. I think Tony Wise invalidated his lap. It's showing red on the mini-map, and I've selected him, so I believe that... Yeah, he has. He's gone. That's Tony Wise qualifying over.
Can you still get another one in?
No, he can't.
So
I don't
still
think
40
so.
seconds. Still 40 seconds remaining.
Let's go back to him. Tony Y is coming round the last corner. Yes, he could get one, but then he's going to take out the life of his tyres, so...
So there's one lap more.
That'll be a difficult one, mate. It really will. Right, okay, let's just go up. Ferocious down, sector 2. Yeah, okay. Lozak, let's see what Lozak can do. Come around the last corner.
Through, which is very quick.
Oh, and he gets it. 104.589.
That's a quick lap time.
Delange, let's see what Delange... We've not mentioned Delange yet in this qualifying. He's in sector 3, coming down to the last 2 corners now. Let's see what he can do. He's not looking too quick. Yeah, 105.3. Oh, yeah, 5th place for Delange. Not a bad lap, but yeah, not quite. Oh, big lockup for RG44.
Dan goes second.
Oh, Ferocious Dan. That'll make James happy on the stream. I'm just on board with RG in second sector. Estimats into third. He's up on his time. Not by much though. 1.4 maybe. Yes, 1.4.8. And then MJ Coop, what can he do? I didn't get to him in time. Oh no, it wasn't Coop. It must have been... I missed who that was. Was it Estimats coming across?
I think it was Tony.
Oh, was it Tony? My apologies. But yeah, Coop's coming around the last corner now. He's up. He is up. He's going to be 105.9 maybe. Oh! Not bad from MJ Coop, 105.0. Last of them, I think that might be it. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it, guys. I think that's that is concluded your qualifying session for round
Mr.
10.
Steen?
No,
Mr.
he's
Steen
coming
is
in.
on his in lap.
He's coming in. Yeah, he's coming in, mate. Yeah, so that concludes it, guys. Round 10, Invictus Racing League Formula 2 equal performance. Interesting. Colin J and Captain Stiff not setting times. So, is that because they want to start on fresh tyres and free tyre choice? I think a reverse strategy, maybe.
Yeah, it could be something. We've seen Captain Stiff doing that more often. Not sure about Colin. But yeah, it's always, as I'm always saying, it's good to see some people trying something different. And obviously with the new patch, with safety cars and stuff, you never know what an alternate strategy where an alternate strategy can get you. So
I was really
maybe those
hoping
guys are gambling for that.
I was really hoping you wouldn't mention the SC word, because that is the commentator's curse right there, mate. So anyway, so
as in we do get a safety car, we don't.
We will. Well, now you've mentioned it, we will. Anyway, our championship leader Lozak in first place, Estimats in second. We've got RG44 in third place, Frostistan in fourth, Mr. Steen in fifth, MJ Coop in sixth, Jacob in seventh, Matty in eighth, Nick J Thompson in ninth. We've got Delange in 10th, Sab in 11th, Tony Way in 12th. Jim Laguna in 13th, Colin J in 14th, and then Captain Stiff, our friend from across the pond, in 15th. Now, this is going to be super exciting because anyone from Sab and Tony backwards has got free tyre choice. So they could put fresh softs on, they could put fresh medium, fresh hards, whatever they want. So all those guys at the back after P10 can do exactly what they like. It's part of the rules. If you qualify outside the top 10, you can choose your tyres. So, is this going to be the deciding factor for those guys? I'd be very intrigued to see that.
Lozak on pole for his, the race where he wants to claim the championship at least. Let's see how he goes into turn one. If someone's going to try to attack him, if he's going to be a little bit. If he's going to watch out or just
conservative,
steering it in. Very interesting to see. It's always. I remember when I was driving for the championship last season. You still want to drive like yourself. You don't want to change things, but you do want to keep out of the fight somehow and not take too many risks. But it's difficult to find that balance where you want to drive your own race, but not want to be over aggressive or something. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you mean, mate. But what I think Lozak will do is he won't set off in rich. I don't know what you do, Waris, but I normally set off in rich and overtake to get the good start. I think he'll actually start in lean and probably 3 ERS, and because he's got the added ability of traction with there being no assist, so I think he'll drop it down a little bit for the start. Just concentrate on getting a good clean getaway and use that to his advantage. And I think even with that in mind, with what I've said, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Lozak by the end of the first lap a second and a half in front. And that's a big bold statement, but I think if he drops the fuel and ERS down slightly, that'll counteract the no assist. And I think that'll help him. I mean, these guys very well. Lozak might be going low fuel as well. You know, he might actually underfuel the car to counteract the having to feather the throttle, and so. I mean, these
it can be a very good strategy to break the DRS. I remember do that one time in Monza, because if you're on pole in Monza, the only thing you want is the driver behind having no DRS, and then massively underfueling the car can make for a massive first lap, and then that can already win you the race. So let's see if Lozak can have a very good opening lap, and if he can get a gap. Because also on this track it's important to stay in the DRS. If we've got 3 DRS zones following each other.
Yeah.
Which means that if you're in a DRS, you're almost half the lap in a massive slipstream where you can just save ERS and save fuel. and use it later on in the lap to stay close in the dirty air. So a big factor around here.
I mean, just while we're watching the guys go around as I flick through the guys, you can see that some people have chosen some different tyres there. I get my bearings. Tyres, there you go. Interval, we'll do that. And we'll also do that enabled and track map enabled. There you go. So yeah, we've got Sab and Tony on the mediums. Jim's actually decided to go on the softs. So maybe he thinks he's going to advance in the first few stages. Then Colin Jay's decided to go on mediums, and then Captain Stiff on the softs. So those last people I spoke about having free tyre choice. Interesting strategy. Jim and Captain Stiff opting for the faster tyre. Could be very interesting, this. Super exciting to see what happens here, mate. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. Do you want to track the back pack in the first few corners, or do you want to stick with the front? It's up to you, mate. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's a good one, because those guys are obviously on different tires, car by car. So it could be interesting to see who's going to come out on top there. Yeah, I'll just track from P10 on there.
So here we go, guys. The guys are lining up. Round 10, Invictus Racing League, Formula 2, equal performance. We could very well see another champion crowned tonight as we're getting ready for those beautiful red lights. We got 1 light, 2 lights, we got 3, we've got 4 and 5. And it's lights out, away we go. And Lozak got a great start to say he's no assist, but he's got Estimats on the inside. Is he going to lose it on the turn 1? They keep it clean. It looks like Lozak was went a little bit wide there, but he's coming back at him, the side by side. And we've got RG44 literally on the back of him now, but who's going to be first? Oh, Estimats is in front. Estimats is in front. As we've just seen, Mr. Steen having a bit of a sniff down the back of Ferocious Dan's gearbox. So Estimats is in front of Lozak. Lozak's doing very well. Ferocious Dan raining down on him, and RG44 is also on the back of him. We've got Mr. Steen. I've not seen anything at the back. No incidents, no offs. Apart from
so apart from some end plates, I believe it was MJ Coops. No one spun off. No, nothing serious. Just MJ Coop, who's lost his right front wing end plate, which is probably going to cost him another pit stop.
There you go. I've just put up on screen for the viewers the position changes, so that shows you who's lost out at the start, who's gained places. So Ferocious Dan's up 1, Estimats up 1. We've also got Jacob and Nick J. Thompson up 1 and 2 places respectively. Now coming down the home finish straight, we're starting to see that Formula 1 train start to appear as we see Mr. Steen in the background have a little bit of a sniff down the back of RG44, our French driver. It all looks very tight now, but I think we're seeing a bit of a gap start to form between Matty and Sab. Maybe. Let's keep an eye on that. Matty and Sab. There might be a bit of a gap forming. We never know. Lozak still within 3/10 of the leader. It is a very short lap round here. We've got 36 laps to go. If you're interested to see what people do, 1 stop or 2 stop. What do you think, Waris? Is it going to be a 1 stop or a 2 stop, mate?
Yeah, it should be a 1 stop round here. So Sab also doing a massive job.
Lozak's going around the outside. So Lozak's made a move on the outside. He's regained the lead. I do apologise to cut you off, mate, but he has regained the lead. He's back in front, and he's now going to try and extend that lead. So, sorry, mate, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that Sab did also a massive job, seeing that he is on medium tyres, and he gained 2 places, so that's a very good start for him. But yeah, just coming back to Lozak, incredible job from him, obviously.
Ooh, I think turn 1 here, we're going to see quite a few overtakes into turn 1. I mean, the DRS down here is going to play a big part as well. I believe it's 3 DRS zones here, and 2 of which are buy one, get one free. Is it end of Sector 3 and Sector 1 are buy one, getting free, then Sector 2 is on its own, I believe?
Yeah, and they're all behind each other, so you've basically got 3 chances to overtake.
Tell you what, guys, let's just put on the leader interval. So the last place position, Colin Jay, is only 8 seconds behind the leader. The pack is very tight. I mean, if you look on the minimap, they're still there together. That is amazing to see on a track like this. Let's see who else we've got. Who's making a move? We could possibly have RG make a move. Let's go back to him. So you see people gain so much, but then there's not much room to actually overtake in the corners. So you see this concertina effect throughout. Oh, Matty, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. So already, by the end of lap 3, Matty's gone wide 3 times. So Lozak out.
Oh, and Lozak as well.
And
And
Estimas.
Oh, wow.
The penalties are coming, mate. The penalties are coming.
Meanwhile, Captain Stiff making a move on MJ Cooper, stayed out, didn't change his front wing. Maybe he's hoping for a safety car or something.
Oh, we're just seeing
They're almost 3 wide. MJ Cooper coming through.
So RG's up to 3rd place now. Oh, double wide. Oh, Mr. Steen's got the inside. Oh, brilliant move from Mr. Steen there. Don't know if you caught that yourself, Warris, but yeah, Mr. Steen got a little bit.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good stuff from Mr. Steen. He looks like he's pushing on those softs. Let's go back to tyres and remind everyone who's on what. There you go. So the front 9 are on softs, Sab's on mediums, and then the rest are on softs and mediums, softs and mediums, as you can see on the screen.
Oh, something happened with Dan. Oh, Dan's coming in already.
Oh, wow.
That's very quick. Maybe he's broken his front wing.
Maybe so, mate. Maybe so.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, we've got Mr. Steen with DRS on the back of RG. RG gets past Estimas, does he? Yes, he does. He's on the inside line, coming up to the top of turn 2. Yes, he is.
Oh, that's a good move.
So RG's through on Estimas. Now Estimas under pressure. Mr. Steen's going to have DRS. Comes towards the end of sector 2, he's going to get it. He's got the inside line. As long as he gets his braking right, does not go into him. Bit of a lock-up from Estimas, yeah.
Good move. So the first is Dan, just an update on that one. He did get a broken front wing, so he has got it changed, as well as Coop. So those 2 guys have been set back, unfortunately.
So ferocious down at MJ Coop, definitely on 2 stops. That'll be a soft medium soft, I believe. What do you think,
Yeah,
Boris?
I think it will. I think it will.
So let's go back Jacob. Jacob's really close to the back of Estimas. He gets DRS. They both get DRS. It's neutralised, but looks like Jacob got the better drive out of that last corner. Plays it safe. DRS again. They're both neutralised. Nick's having a bit of a sniff down the back of Jacob. Oh, can we see? I thought we would have seen Nick make a move there, but we may very well see Nick make a move on these 2, because Jacob's been held up here by Estimas. I'm not sure what you think, but Nick's got a really good start to this race. Position change. So Nick's up 3 positions. So great start for Nick. Probably the best start he would have wanted in a circuit like Austria.
RG's as well, still sort of holding on to Lozak, still keeping inside the 1 second, but now he doesn't. I don't know if he did get DRS.
Yeah, he has, he's got it.
Yeah, the gap is 9/10 to a second, so it's very close. But as long as he can hold the DRS, it's. I think it's good.
He's powerful around here, Wise. The DRS is powerful around here.
Yeah, it's super important.
It's a super high track as well, though.
Yeah, so you can see he was 9/10 behind, or almost a second in turn 1, and approaching turn 2, he was only 4/10. So that shows how big of a difference that makes.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got the top 6 all within DRS range of each other, so you could definitely see the front guys, especially up to Nick, starting to kind of pull away from Delange. I mean, Delange's up 3 positions as well because of those, was it Frostan and Coop that pitted. But yeah, there's some major position changes going on in this race so far. Estimas has just dropped down. Coming up to lap 7 now. Lap 7 on soft tyres. Oh, Jacob's got a penalty. Jacob in P5, he's now got a penalty as well. So I think the majority of the top 6, apart from Lozak has got, I think it's Mr. Steen hasn't got a penalty. We'll check that much later on when it actually really matters.
RG neither. So RG's in the effective lead at this point, but yeah, obviously the race is very long still.
Yeah.
Oh, comes very close to Lozak, locks up a little bit and goes wide. What can Mr. Steen do now? Probably gets a better exit.
I mean, I'm still super impressed by how close this pack is still.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Yeah, but that's also due to the DRS. You can trust me on that one. As we were saying, so powerful around here. But therefore it's crucial to stay inside the DRS. So one mistake costing you 5/10, that can be already making you break from the pack. As Nick has also made maybe a little mistake. He's at 1.2 seconds now, and it's going to be difficult to keep up with the pack now because they are pulling each other along.
I mean, I'm quite surprised the DRS has always been so powerful around here because it's actually quite a high circuit, you know. It's not exactly sea level. It's quite high. True. You know, physically speaking, you shouldn't be able to get so much benefit from the DRS because there's less air, or the air density is less. So,
yeah, but you must not forget that the track is about. Oh, Lozak is next to RG. RG's coming through.
He's got it, mate. He's got it. Wow.
Oh wow. Oh, Lozak coming back at him.
Oh! So we just see Lozak just going to the side of Jacob as he goes literally tyre to tyre, coming through that corner.
I don't expect RG expected that anymore.
I don't think he did, but that may have been a bit of desperation from Lozak, or maybe just a miscalculation, but I don't think it was overly aggressive, just a bit of a hiccup in calculation, really.
Very aggressive for someone who goes for a title. Consider that, but it was pretty well done.
It was, mate, it was. It just shows you we can't rule out our French driver, RG. He's looking mighty fine right now. They started on the same tyre. And just... RG's sitting down in 6th place. No, sorry, 7th place in the championship. So maybe RG's sick of not getting podiums, and he wants the podium. I think he's had... one podium. I think he had a podium in Azerbaijan. So yeah, fair play to RG. I think he wants to add another podium tally to his spot, and he's keeping the pressure on. So fair play to our French driver RG.
Yeah, very good job. So as I was coming back to the DRS story, obviously physically it doesn't seem to be able to be that big of a thing. But you must not forget that the track time is only 1 minute, a little bit more, and probably half of that minute you will be in DRS if you have it. So
yeah,
I think that makes it a lot more powerful because the 3 DRS straights are so long.
I mean, just counting, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers all within DRS range of each other. So that pretty much backs up what you're saying, mate. Would you argue that actually neutralises the DRS because everyone stays so close?
Yeah, I think it does. So as you can see, Delana in the beginning he could keep inside 1 second of Nick.
Sorry, mate. Tony White's got a penalty now, and he's
and RG went wide.
Oh, he's on the back of
Lozak is back in front.
We're just riding with Mr. Steen on board with him.
Oh, he just keeps behind. And Mr. Steen is just watching this and hoping something goes wrong, probably.
He is.
He's just staying there, keeping close. He knows the race is still long. I think quite smart driving from him.
We're actually riding on board with Mr. Steen because we're getting a great first-person perspective from Mr. Steen's point of view of exactly what's happening between RG and Lozak. I mean, Mr. Steen, we can't count out Mr. Steen in this because I'm not seeing any mistakes from Mr. Steen, really.
No, he's just staying there, just keeping there, waiting for something disastrous to happen for the 2 guys in front.
Yeah, you can see
now
Mr.
getting
Steen
close though to RG.
Steen's licking his lips and like the coyote in the desert, looking after a deer or an antelope that's wounded. He's looking at these two, thinking, "Yeah, you guys can crack on. I'm going to jump on the back of you soon." But then, oh, look how close they are. Look how Jacob and Estimats are so close as well. Look at that aerial shot. We've got a seriously close battle at the front here. All the way from P1 back to P5. And you can't even discount Nick, because he's not that far behind either. He's trying to rein in that 1 second over estimates. Let's really quickly check on Nick. He can see this battle as well, mate. So Nick might be trying to keep in this battle, and this might be, if you let me check.
Oh, Mr. C goes in the gravel.
Oh,
went onto that curb and it just slipped. Oh, it was so close to those guys, and now that you were just talking about not making mistakes and you put the commentary curse on him.
We did say about not doing that, didn't we? But yeah, sorry, Steen, that's my fault.
People coming into the pits now.
That's my fault. So
maybe that's a bit of luck for Steen.
That'd be 23 laps out. That'd be 23 laps on hards if he comes in.
I tell you what, the undercut is massively overpowered on this track.
Oh really?
Undercut is around 1.3 seconds a lap.
Wow.
So we could see RG falling back massively now.
Steve's not damaged either, mate. So maybe you could do another 2 laps on these. Well, saying that, shouldn't we be seeing the soft drivers come in now? Lap 30, maybe lap 13?
Yeah, they've come in. Only RG didn't, and De Lange, but RG from the front pack, RG is going to lose quite a lot of time, I'm expecting now.
Yeah, Lozak's gone on hards.
A little bit out of shape.
Oh, I was right, 23 laps on hards. Ooh.
And everyone is on mediums. It's a bit of a strange decision from Lozak. Maybe he just wants to...
No, I think that's right, because he's got no assists. I genuinely think because he's a fast driver. Because he's a fast driver, he's got that beneficial of being the faster paced driver, but it's going to be easier on the tyre temperatures because it's a dry, sunny track. He's going to be able to keep the temperatures down. So I think that's a smart move from Lozak, mate.
Still though, it would be possible to get onto the mediums. But I think it's just a little bit more comfortable sitting at the end of the race to be on hards. It's not the quicker tyre though.
It's not at all. But guys, if you're watching the stream live, give us your take on Lozak, our championship leader. Was that the move to make? Do you think that was a smart move? Or is there something else that we've not thought about that we've missed? Do drop us a comment and let us know. Let's get involved in this stream comments.
Meanwhile, Sab and De Lange fighting it out for P2 at this point on track. Sab is on mediums, so normally the slower tyre, but at this point it probably is the quicker tyre because De Lange is coming in as his tyres are at the end of their lifetime. RG coming in now as well. Did 2 more laps than the front pack. Let's see where he comes out now and compared to the other guys.
See, I think this might have been a really smart move by Sab starting on the mediums, you know, because he's going to be able to go another 3 laps, maybe even 4 laps if he's careful. And then
probably even more because the softs only go 13, 14 laps, so I think maybe 15, but he still needs some laps on his tyre. He will have free air though, so that's very, very nice to have.
So he could try and build a lead and go on softs, and maybe even could he claw back 4th position here at the finish? That
depends on what happens with the fighting at the front. But if those guys keep on fighting, it could easily. And RG has come in front of. Oh, versus then goes into the gravel, completely misses braking point.
So I'm just on board with De Lange. He started on the started on the softs. He's now on the mediums. He's got 21 laps to go. Ooh. Oh no, sorry, De Lange started on hards, didn't he? So he's going to the... No. I do apologise. We skip back.
Something has happened. Secretary. Oh, Estimates is off.
Oh,
into the wall.
Oh, Estimates. Is he out?
No, he keeps on going. Maybe he just stopped in front of the wall because there's not too much damage to his front wing, it seems. And no, M-plate is still on. So that's lucky, but he dropped a lot of places. So as I was talking about the undercut being very... those are moving through for P3, by the way. About the undercut being very powerful, Lozak has gained 5 seconds on RG during that undercut. So I don't know what happened to Nick and Steen and Jacob, because they dropped a lot of seconds, but Lozak certainly didn't.
Well, Steen went in the gravel, as you caught it, so that explains
Yeah,
Steen.
that's true.
But Nick, I'm not sure what happened to Nick.
And Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob, I'm not sure either, because Jacob was looking really... Oh, he pitted. Obviously, he pitted.
Maybe they had to wait on each other in the pit lane or something, because there were a lot of people in the pits at the same time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you could be right, mate. You could be right.
RG, quickest lap. Really reeling in Lozak now. He gained about 1.3 seconds in the last lap. On obviously the quicker tyre compared to Lozak.
Steen and Estimat's picking up more penalties, mate. Yeah, I mean, Barry's just said on the stream, Warris, that last night's race they used softs and mediums. Not sure about Lozak going onto the hards, but he'll know better than me. Yeah, we agree, mate. We don't know why he'd go onto the hards, but maybe, like I said, maybe it's because he's running no assists and he's trying to look after the temperatures. I don't know, but he's a super quick driver. It might be that because of the undulation and the constant turning, it might keep those temperatures better. He might have done a practice on that. He may have thought, let's see how the temperatures are. I mean, I found like places like China, the temperatures go really warm, and then the two long sections, they go so cold, and by the time you get to turns 1, 2 and 3 for that twisty corkscrew section, the tyres are flat cold. So maybe he's done his oh, as we just seen Nick getting past RG. So
yeah, and he's still in the effective lead though, Lozak, so who wins is right, I guess.
Yeah, so maybe he's done his homework, maybe he's been...
yeah, could be, could be.
I can understand about the hard tyre and with this track keeping the temperatures, so...
Captain Stiff was spun out of turn 1.
Oh, unfortunately,
keeps it on track though.
Running down in P14.
So no one getting serious damage still, but some people seem to have some troubles with the tyres. As Sab is still leading, by the way, by quite a lot of seconds.
Nick was struggling then as well, accelerating out of turn 5, is it, or 3? Yeah, so Nick was struggling on the acceleration phase coming out of that corner, and RG's coming back at him now. He's 6 tenths behind. Looking down the order, it's the closest battle we've got. Let's just see what happens. Let's have a look at the back of Nick J. Thompson's car. He's looking smooth for the last 2 corners. RG does get DRS. Matty and Ferocious Dan getting time penalties. Barry just commenting again saying, yeah, he's flying though. He certainly is, mate. He's only 5.4 seconds behind Sab, the leader, who's got to pit. Tony Wise got to pit. So, yeah, effectively, he's leading the race. And he's leading Colin J, who's got to pit by a second. And then from him, he's on Nick, who's... I'm not going to see Nick go to the end on medium, surely. Oh, they just see RG go down the inside of Nick. No, it was... These two coming back at each other. Nick and RG going hammer and tong for this. Oh, we get contact!
Oh,
Nick
no!
spun! RG spun, sorry. RG spun and Nick spun. They both spin. They've both spun. Oh, unfortunate from the two drivers of the Haas and the Renault there. And they're coming back at each other again.
Oh, no, they almost looked like they spun again, but luckily they didn't. Oh man.
So they both have dirty tyres. Could they spin again coming out this last corner? No, they're alright. But then that's brought Ferocious Dan into the mix. Ferocious Dan's licking his lips. He can smell that gearbox. He's going to go for it and try and chase after this last point. Although he's on 15 lap old mediums. Nick J. Thompson getting a time penalty as well. It's all going wrong for Nick and RG. I'd like to think that was a miscalculation and not aggression on the track. Two very experienced racers, so I'm pretty sure it's probably just a little bit of overexcitement and miscalculation from both those drivers. I mean, Nick being the... when I first started commentating, Nick was the champion in the first season. You was the second one, Warris. And we're going to see a third different championship 3 years running. So I'm so excited about this, mate. I think Lozak's got this in the bag now. And we are
He's
watching.
really running away with this race, isn't he?
Oh, mate, we are watching a champion in the making. We really are.
De Lange, meanwhile, now
See Colin J coming
behind Lozak, even though it's 9 seconds, he's still up for a podium, isn't he?
Oh, he is, yeah.
As soon as these guys pit.
I mean, that's Lozak coming to P2. Very soon going to be into P1, mate.
So Sab is either going to pit this lap or the lap after, I suppose. Then he grabs the lead, and then, well, with the gap he's got, he shouldn't give that lead away then anymore. Will be interesting to see what Sab can do on fresh softs.
As you said that, I just flicked to the leader time to check that, mate. Now, is it 20 to 21 seconds around here for a pit stop?
Yeah, it's coming in. I think it's quite a short pit stop time because you sort of cut the final corner.
Yeah, so I'd reckon 20. So he's going to come out maybe P10, P11 on the faster tyre. We've still got MJ Goop, Ferocious Dan to pit. He could get some good points here, mate.
And he's got 15 laps in which he's probably 1 or 2 seconds a lap quicker on those softs. Very exciting to see what he can do.
14 laps, buddy. 14, I think. Oh, are you right? Yeah, I think 14.
With the 22nd lap added to it is 15, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Fair play, mate, yeah.
They still got to drive this lap. So as soon as his tyres are up to temperature, I guess.
But then, Ferocious Dan, 17 lap old mediums. Nick J. Thompson, who is then... Ooh, saying that... Yeah, he could maybe get P5 if he's careful. If he's very careful, he could get P5, I think. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, you never know what the... it's difficult to tell what the difference is going to be in lap times, but he's now right up behind his teammate. I think his teammate should let him through. There's no fighting in this one.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate.
I think he's doing that already. Oh, he's coming in, but that did certainly cost Sab some time there.
Yeah, I think he did as well, mate. But we're just on board with Steen, still trying to watch what he can do.
Some things happened at the front. Oh, it was Tony who spitted. So now Lozak is in the lead. Mr. Steen has gotten past De Lange. Now 10 seconds behind Lozak.
Wow.
I just check on penalties because Lozak's got 3, I guess. Yeah, Lozak's got 3 seconds.
I think Mr. Steen's got 6 seconds, hasn't he?
Yeah, Mr. Steen's got 6.
Yeah.
De Lange's got none, which is a very good job. He hasn't even got a warning.
Wow. Fair play from De Lange.
Jacob's got 6, so De Lange is still on for a good result without those penalties.
I mean, saying that, mate, De Lange is a veteran of Invictus. He's very experienced in racing. So that's not surprising he's not got no penalties.
Yellow flag sector 2. What's happened there? I think it was Nick. Got a lot of dirt on his tires. So what is Sab doing? Already in P6, by the way.
Yeah, now Tony Wise following him on the fresh softs. We've got Colin J on fresh-ish softs. So the likes of Sab, Tony and Colin J could very well be on for a decent one here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think P5 is a lot more than just an opportunity. I think it could go up lots more even, because the gap isn't too big to the podium.
Even with those fresh softs behind him.
Yeah, obviously all those guys are going to be quick near the end. I think
it's going to be a tight fight at the end, isn't it?
3 and 4 is going to be 2, 3, 4 and 5. I really don't know who can keep that, who is going to get in those places.
12 laps remaining. For you guys watching live on the stream, give us your predictions. Who's going to be 2nd, 3rd and 4th? And then likewise, who's going to be 5th, 6th and 7th? Because this is all open. So come on guys, give us your predictions, get involved in the stream comments, let us know what you think is going to be the finishing order. Looking at these times and looking at the tyre strategy involved, I must admit though, I'll have to tip my cap to Lozak on those hards. He's got another 11 laps to do on those hards, mate. So that's going to be 23 laps on hards. And he's 9.5 seconds in front of Steen. That is amazing job.
Steen is, yeah, slightly gaining on him, but not enough to.
I was going to say, does Barry come and ride with Lozak for a lap? Yes, we can, Barry. We're riding on board with them now. Do you want broadcast view or do you want T-Cam view? Give us a heads up, mate. But we are with Lozak now. Oh, I can't believe how much he turns in on those hards. He's got it pinned.
So as you stay with Lozak, I'll just check on Sab, who's getting close to the Renaults now. I'll give you a heads up on what's happening there.
I can't believe the traction that Lozak's getting
Lozak
out of his
picked up
hard.
a penalty.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Still, he's got a healthy lead, so that shouldn't be a problem. Three-way fight now for P4 with RG, Jacob and Sab, all very close together, and Tony while also closing up to those three guys.
Such a smooth drive from Lozak. His downshifts, his traction coming out the corners, absolutely amazing. This is obviously a champion in the making, because we're going to see him win the championship today, and well deserved. Absolute fantastic drive all season. Barry's saying on the stream, smoother than Barry White. I believe he is, mate. Just shame we ain't got the deep tones of the engine to go with it. There you go, Barry. That is for you, mate. So coming back to the battles, we've got Delange within 1 second of Mr. Steen. We've also got Tony Y on the back of Sab, who's also on the back of Jacob. As we're saying, this front battle is coming back at each other. It's going to be super tight at the end. It's going to be a very busy finish to this race, I believe, Boris.
Yeah, it is. And I was just checking this battle, but it just seems like Jacob isn't able to get quite close enough to his teammate, and because of Jacob having DRS, it's difficult for Sab to get closer as well. Same counts for Tony Y. So these guys are just kind of stuck.
Yeah, I don't know about third for Sab, because he's going to go under serious pressure from Tony.
Now though, he's getting close to Jacob.
It'll be interesting to see exactly what happens here.
Captain still with the quickest lap though.
Yeah, Jimbo, I've seen your comment. Yeah, but this is going to be a super long fight. It really is. It's going to be good. But yeah, I'm really intrigued with Sab and Tony towards the end. And likewise, RG and Jacob, it's anyone's game. But Jacob's on 14-lap old hards. Now, we do know about the hards that once you've been on them a while, they do get a bit more malleable and they get a bit softer, so to speak. So that could actually play into Jacob's hands. Now, we've seen Lozak make it work. I think, could Jacob make it work? Could it really make it work against softs though? That's a bit too much, I think. As we're just seeing, Sab, is he going to make a move? On the inside.
Very good.
He's going to go wide though.
Wide.
He's going to come back at him.
Switch back.
The side by side coming down the hill. Don't make contact, guys. Keep it clean.
Oh, a little bit of side pod contact outside, and that's just on traction for Sab.
Oh, just.
You could see the difference between the hard and the soft tires on that exit, couldn't you?
That was I think just within the limits of hard racing. I think
just a little friendly tap on the side pod.
Yeah, a bit of a tyre kiss. But if there was an incident there, that would have been steward material there. I mean, it was on the cusp, really on the cusp.
Yeah, a real tricky one. So let's see, Sab now also on the back of RG already.
So Mr. Steen up 3 positions, and Delange, if he can keep this to the end, Delange on a podium with 7 positions gained. I'm not sure he can because RG's moving down now.
Remember, Mr. Steen was in the gravel as well earlier.
Sab's on the back of RG again on the inside line. He got the braking better this time.
Now he's sort of just the Max Verstappen move, pushes RG just fairly wide, and he's up in P4.
Brilliant stuff from Sab. Now, can Sab take it from Delange?
Within 1 second already. Let's see what Sab is doing on penalties though, because Delange, I don't think he's picked up a penalty.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea to check, mate. We've only got 7 laps to go, or 6.5 laps to go, guys.
So Sab hasn't got any penalties either, but he's got 2 warnings, so we'll have to watch out. Delange is still totally clean on warnings.
Wow.
And Mr. Steen, he has got some penalties, I believe. So Mr. Steen's got 2 penalties, which could drop him off the podium with a bit of bad luck at the end.
Yeah, Barry.
So
Barry.
nothing has been decided apart from probably the lead in this race.
I can't believe how close these guys are. They're all closing up now. The battles are starting to come thick and fast. So I'm going to stop reading the stream comments, guys. So apologies. I'm not ignoring you. We just got to catch this track action. Tony Y on the back of RG. Yeah. What's going to happen here? Is he going to go to the inside late move? No, he's not. He's going to keep it smooth. Oh, big lockup from RG there. Massive lockup from RG. That brings Tony Y back into the mix. He's soft tyre versus medium tyre.
Goes a little bit wide as well. Slightly out of shape.
See, RG's on 15 lap old mediums. They're going to start getting a little bit worn now.
Sab just half a second away from the back of Delange now. We will get the DRS and we will get very close by the time we get to turn 3, I suppose.
No, it'll be down the next straight, I think. Yeah, turn 3, sorry.
Yeah, I mean after this, you know, first turn 1 and then...
What I don't believe is, now what we're watching, I don't believe that's the corner. This is turn 2 now. That's not a corner.
Yeah, that is supposed to be turn 2, but
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
And then coming down
so officially we're coming down turn 4 now.
Yeah.
But Sab didn't seem to get the best of exits. And we'll think better of it.
Oh, Delange got... Oh!
Was that a touch?
Oh, a little bit. I've got... He has it. Oh, no, he hasn't. Oof. I thought he got damaged, but Nick's got a 3-second time penalty. Nick is down in last place. But look at this train going. We've got Mr. Steen, then Delange. Then we got Sab. And then we got RG. And then closely followed is Tony Y. And then not too far behind him is Jacob. And then Colin J 6 seconds behind him. So the top 7, all within striking distance. I'm not sure Jacob's going to make a move because he's on the hard tyres.
RG getting back on Sab, by the way. Around the outside of turn 1. Wow, what a move. Did Sab get some damage?
Sab got a penalty, mate. Sab picked up a penalty there. That's his first penalty. So is RG on 6 seconds, I believe? Suddenly
Sab really struggling, so did he get some damage? Maybe no, on the end plate, but just on the main
Maybe.
Because RG is now also going for the podium position. Where did that pace come from?
Wow. Oh, big lock up.
Oh, Sab getting back into the fight.
Look at this action.
Oh, wow. We're seeing almost an exact replica of what happened in the F1 race Monday. We also had a 3-4-way battle for the podium. Incredible stuff around here. Meanwhile, Mr. Steen profiting from this. He's got some penalties, but he's sort of driving away from the battle.
I mean, we're just watching for the streamers, we're just watching the screen absolutely clean. Just to see how good this racing is, to see every angle we can possibly scream out of this racing. Because it's so close. It's beautiful watching a clean screen. Look at that shot, absolutely beautiful.
Crushes Dan coming in for another time, I think. He sort of got some damage.
Sab again touching the back of Delange. Is Delange struggling? I think Delange is having to brake a lot earlier because he's on those mediums. So I think Sab needs to try and think about this and maybe go on and... Oh, and again he touches! Delange is braking so early.
This time his front wing has been certainly damaged because the end plate is off. And now Tony must get a move on because then he will still be up for a podium. Oh, picks up a penalty.
Wow. Yeah, I think basically Delange is on those old mediums. He's having to brake a lot earlier and Sab's got serious pace. I just think he's caught Sab out a little bit. I mean, I think Sab's going to the end. He's not going to come in at this stage. We've only got 2.5 laps to go, 2 and a bit laps to go. So it looks like, with 8 seconds in the lead, Lozak, our champion, that's going to be... Oh, and Sab goes off again. Sab's off again. Come on, Sab, keep it on track, keep those points. Yeah, Lozak, who's leading this race on those hard tyres, 21-lap-old hard tyres, is going to be the crowned champion of Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Performance. And it looks like we're going to get the champion on the podium. He's going to get a record of most wins in a season, which he'll hold singularly on his own. He'll be the champion. I think Lozak's a newcomer as well, so a newcomer champion getting a record for most wins in a season, and he's finishing on the podium. What a finish for Lozak. As long as he keeps it, you know what? I'm not going to finish that sentence.
And I think he's also got the record for most wins in a row, or the shared record, but I think he got that as well.
No, not in a no. I don't think he got in a row. I think it was
I didn't.
He equaled four wins in a row, I believe. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, so he shares it with
I'll tell you how
me.
much it
I guess
was.
it is. Yeah, I think
no, he got 3 in a row. It was 4 consecutive entries, but he had a did not start in between those 4.
Ah, okay. Still though, how much races has he won in a row now? Is this the second or the third?
No, he's won 3 in a row. He won the first, second and third all in a row. Then he did not start, then he got first, then he got 7th, I think it was. Then he won it, then he disqualified, and then he won it again. And he's going to win it again now. So
he could still get the 4, but that's a difficult one.
Yeah, I mean,
Tony White meanwhile fighting with De Lange going around the outside of turn 4. Can he hold it? Oh!
Matty again
just
with the penalty.
Thinks better of it. He's just got some more time behind the line.
We're seeing Lozak coming across the line to start his last lap. This
as
is
a non-champion.
This is the last lap of an about to be crowned champion of F2. Invictus Racing League Performance. Said that wrong way around, but yeah, this is going to be a fantastic lap for him. He knows what's happening now. He knows what's coming. He's been a fantastic season so far, and he's got another 2 races to go. Brazil and Mexico, which I can't wait to commentate on, mate. I love those tracks. But yeah, I mean, look at that. 8.3 seconds in the lead on the hard tyres. 23-lap-old hard tyres. Oh, I've got a problem with Sab.
Still fighting.
Oh, sorry, Sab and Jacob. But yeah, let's just go back to RJ. We cannot miss Lozak coming over the line. He's only got 2 corners to go.
Style. You know what? I'm just going to applaud for him.
Don't clap. It's fine, mate. So yeah, there you go, Lozak. Congratulations to you, my friend. You have been crowned the Formula 2 Invictus Racing League Performance Champion. Well done, my friend. An absolute blistering season. You have done it. You are the champion. You can lift that trophy and lift that crown and then put it back down firmly on your head. You are Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance Champion. Congratulations and well done. And then coming across the line is De Lange in P2. Absolute fantastic outing for De Lange, who's up 8 positions to take P2. Then we've got Mr. Steen in P3, who's up 2 positions. RG dropped down 1 position to bring it home in P4. Sab in P5. Go on, Alan. And then Tony White just behind him in P6. We've got Jacob in P7. Colin J in P8. Jim the Gooner in P9. Estimats in P10. Having a shock of a race, unfortunately for Estimats. And then Jacob in P11. Captain Stiff in P12. And then there you go. We'll bring that back up as we get to it. But Waris, if you want to get busy with the podium invitations, that would be greatly appreciated, my friend.
Yeah, and while doing that, I'm just going to say my massive congratulations to Lozak as well. What a season! Just from the start,
yeah,
he just showed he was the guy, he was the man. a lot of times you could just see he was clearly the quickest. Also, big props to De Lange for not picking up any penalty around this track. And yeah, once again, great race with a great champion being crowned.
Yeah, it is, mate. It really is. And good luck to him after this season, going into no assist. But while we're giving the rundown of the finishers, guys, if you're watching the stream, please give us the questions that you want to ask our champion, our P2 and P3 positions. So get your answers fired in now so I can read them in time for the podiums, mate. Get them in now. Lozak, our champion, crown champion of Invictus Racing League Formula Performance. Lozak, congratulations. He did get 6 seconds in the end. Then we've got De Lange in P2, we've got Mr. Sin in P3, RG4422 in P4, Sab in P5, congratulations Sab, brilliant outing for Sab. Tony Y in P6, we've also got Jacob in P7, Colin J in P8, Jim Naguna in P9, Estimas in P10, we've got M. Jacob in P11, Captain Stiff in P12. Absolute fantastic race, cannot believe that. Absolutely brilliant. So we've got no questions fired in from the guys. So, have we got Lozak, our champion, in the lobby?
We've got him.
Lozak, you there, my friend?
Yeah.
Catch your breath, buddy. Catch your breath. How was that, mate?
Yeah, the hearts at the end were a bit dead, but yeah, it was very nice to get the strategy right, and I was a bit scared because all the other guys are going with the mediums, and then I kept asking myself if the hearts was a good choice, but in the end. I guess, yeah.
Mate, it was a formidable season from yourself. Just flicking back to the table, the first 3 races of the season were won all by yourself. You didn't start in Russia, but then again you came back on form in America, and you got another win. You didn't have the best of Azerbaijan races, picking up I think 7th or 8th maybe, and then Bahrain again taking another win. A bad outing in Italy and he was disqualified, but again taking another win in Singapore, and then again today taking another win. So based on your performance this season with that amount of wins, surely you can take that form into the No Assist League next season and pressurise some of the big dogs in No Assist Leagues and then try and show them who's boss. What do you think? What's your chances, mate?
Yeah, it has been a great season for me with some downs in the races you meant, but yeah, I think that next year in the No Assist I had to practice a bit more with no ABS and stuff, but I think I could race with the guys of the F1 League, and it will be very fun, I think.
Well, based on how you did tonight with the no assist, mate, you did extremely well. I think you're going to be a title contender even in no assist, mate. But just going to the floor, we have got a question coming from the guys on the stream, and it's how do you feel about being in the record books in Invictus Racing League, the Hall of Fame? You got 7 wins in 1 season. You're the only person to ever achieve that, mate. How does that feel?
Yeah, I feel great because in some races it was very close because between first, second, and third, especially in Germany with Aaron and TB, and also in Bahrain. So to clip the 2 victories back in those races were really good. Because I wanted this record, and I kept thinking about it from 5 wins, 6 wins, and then today the 7th, and I hope it come more.
Well, you could very well get more, mate. We've got another 2 races to go. Absolutely unbelievable what you've done, and I wish I could do the same like yourself and be able to go into the Hall of Fame, the Invictus Racing League Hall of Fame, and see my name at the top there. It's only something I could dream of. So that must be an awesome feeling, mate. Congratulations. But
Dan, before you move on, can I ask a question?
Of course you can, mate.
Zach? First of all, massive congratulations, mate. What a season. You can be very happy about that. I was just wondering, did you feel some different kind of tension going into this race, or were you as cool as you sound under it?
Yeah, because I was afraid of ABS, especially because I gone off very wide in turn 1 some laps, but and then in fact got some penalties. But yeah, it felt very good. No big errors, no big mistakes, and I was afraid also of spinning like in turn 2 or something like that. But yeah, it felt very nice, and maybe with a little more practice, I could go a little faster, I think.
Wow. Yeah, very brave of you to go no assist to your championship race. So I'll give it back to you now, Dan.
Yeah, Jim, I mean, there's another... I believe that the golden question for you, Lozak, and it's probably a difficult one to answer, but how do you get so good to be able to do it like you did this season? I mean, I'm sure I want to know. I'm sure many of our watchers and listeners and viewers want to know. How do you build up the quality of skill that you have to get so good? I mean, can you give our viewers and our racers watching any kind of tips of how you did it? How you built up to this point in your life, in your racing career?
Yeah, I think the main tips is to be consistent, to be very careful in the races, because I was not always the fastest guy, but in the end I managed to clip some wins that I didn't expect. And also a big thing is the rig that you have, the wheel and the setup, because with the controller in the last season, yeah, you could be fast, but it's a totally different feeling with the wheel, and also in the race with tire wear and something like that. It's obviously a very more faster and consistent the wheel, and so I practice a lot. I practice in Grand Prix mode and not in TT mode like some guys did.
Yeah.
But yeah, for building up strategies like today, I practice with the hard stints, and I saw that the hards are eternal on this track, so I did it with the hard because I know that, because I practiced that. So if you practice a lot only on TT mode, you're not gonna be able to see the strategy very clear.
Yeah, of course. Well, just the last couple of points before we go on to our other 2 podium finishers that have joined us. Basically, you've also signed with your teammate TB is the Racing Point Constructors Championship. So it's a drivers' championship for a Racing Point or a Racing Force India driver, and also the constructors. So congratulations on that to both of you. You did extremely well all season. So that's a double whammy for the Racing Points. But just give us one last bit of information before we go on to our P2 and P3 finishers. Tell our viewers, what wheel do you use and what pedal setup do you use before we move on?
Yeah, I use the G29 wheel with the pedal, that come with it, and I use a play seat rig, very very basic, and I buy that stuff 2 months ago, and the first race in Hungary, that's probably one of my best wins. I did it with the controller because I was not gonna be able to use the wheel anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so it was very strange because I felt like good in Hungary with the controller, and then much closer to the others with the wheel. But in the end, I think that with some practice, the wheel is obviously faster than controller.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Well, just as we go to our P2 and P3 positions, I just want to let you know, Lozak, you're going to have 2 trophies coming to you in the post. So look forward to that, mate. That's the Drivers' Championship and Constructors' Championship on its way to you from Invictus Racing League, all because of the premium membership donations by our racers and our viewers. So congratulations. Please stay on the line, though, if you don't mind, Lozak, because our other 2 podium finishers may want to ask you questions or congratulate you. So moving on now. Yeah, not a problem, mate. Moving on now, Delange. Do we have Delange here?
Yeah, man. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, buddy. Congratulations on your podium positions. But Wijslander, would you like to take the lead on Delange's questions?
Yeah, sure, no problem. We can do it in Dutch even if you want. Just joking.
Please don't.
No. So I think you were on the podium last week as well.
Last week I wasn't racing, but the race before.
Your last race, yeah. I mean that. So how does it feel to have actually, basically back-to-back podiums?
Yeah, really good. I didn't expect it, to be honest. But yeah, feels great.
I think it was the most important thing for your podium was you kept it clean, no penalties. So big respect for that. Was that also the way you, the mindset you had going into the race, like to just keep it clean and see where you'd finish?
Yeah, keep it clean always. To be honest, I don't often get time penalties. So when I do, I got only 3 maybe. But yeah, I just thought just keep it clean and do the one stop and defend like hell. That's basically what I did.
It was some very nice battles. How did you feel with that, like 3-4-way battle for the podium? Were you confident you could still get it after you lost some positions, or?
Nah, I knew about all the guys having time penalties, but I wasn't confident in my own pace. My pace at the end was pretty shit. My tires were gone, but I could keep up with them because I stayed in the DRS zone for a long time. And yeah, just really hard and I think fair defending at the end.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Was that also one of the biggest factors in this race, you think, the DRS, to stay in it?
Yeah, definitely. I could say easily in the DRS I saved a lot of ERS behind Stain, I think it was. I could stay on a low or medium ERS on the straights, so I could save some. Well, I still kept it within a second. Yeah, I think the DRS, that's a big thing around here.
Yeah, certainly. Almost at a lot of tracks on this game. Just to close it off, our interview. Getting to the end of the season, you've still got some goals to achieve in the last 2 races, in terms of championship position or maybe some more podiums.
Yeah, podiums always my goal. And championship-wise, I don't know exactly where I am after this race, but my aim was top 5. Yeah, no clue if that's still possible, but I guess
you're on track, buddy. You are on track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're currently sat in 8th. That should drive you up to about 6th. If you do good racing in Brazil and Mexico, you could very well get 5th or 4th.
That's cool. I like those 2 tracks.
Keep at it, buddy. Yeah, so if you keep at it, mate. Chase those goals, mate. But yeah, Lozak, I think, still here. So is there anything you want to say to Lozak?
Yeah, major congrats, man. Brilliant season.
Thanks, man.
And I definitely need your wheel setup because I got a G29, but I don't have your pace. So I need that wheel setup.
Fair play. So, Delange, thank you ever so much, mate. You take care, mate, and we'll see you next week in Brazil.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, buddy. And I believe have we got Mr. Steen still in the party?
No, Mr. Steen, I don't think he could make it.
Okay, thanks guys, cheers, take care. Okay, so no Mr. Steen, however, Waris, what did you make of that? That was a pretty intense race.
Yeah, it was. There's some people being sort of critical about Austria, but I always think it's a nice race because you've got so much laps. It's a very short track, which means the gaps are very often quite close. People can have close lap times. Qualifying can be very interesting because of that, and also the racing, as you can see, because there's not so much time between others on lap time. You can stay closer, you can stay longer in the DRS, and it's more difficult for people to break away, which means for very good fighting, as we saw at the closing stages of this race. So for me, Austria certainly did deliver again, and the hills were very alive.
They certainly were, and it was musical, mate. Now, the one thing that you just said there that I'm going to touch on, mate, and although Austria is it's quite a simplistic track to drive round, there's one thing that is very significant, and that is, it is not a place you can make mistakes. It is a track where it's pretty high speed,
It's
even
old
through
school,
the
isn't
corners,
it?
so the one mistake you do make, you're penalised for it. So
Yeah, and the great thing about it is, in my opinion, apart from turn 3, there aren't places where there is any tarmac next to the track, which means as soon as you put a wheel off track, you're not going to gain any time anymore. It's just instant grass or gravel, which makes it very exciting.
Absolutely, mate, yeah.
And also, I'm just wrong on that one. Obviously, the penultimate turn and the last turn, there's some tarmac, but as soon as you get those corners wrong, you'll probably spin already. So it doesn't even mean that there's tarmac.
No,
so
of course.
Every corner is tricky, and if you get it slightly wrong, you'll certainly lose a lot of time.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I mean, to all our drivers that have been listening after they finished their race, don't give up. You've still got positions to make, and seriously, guys, all the drivers listening, get on the website and look at the table, because there's still a lot of positions to fight over. It's not all lost. The championship might have been won, but it's all about pride now. It's all about who can finish in front of who. So keep that pedal straight to the floor. We've got some brilliant tracks coming up. We've got Brazil and Mexico. A lot of people are negative about Mexico, but I think it's a brilliant track. But Brazil in its own right is one of the tracks this season I've been so looking forward to. So yeah, I mean, tonight's been F2. Go back, watch no assists from Monday, where you'll see Waris landed picking up some decent points there. On the Tuesday, we've got our Performance League. Of course, running beside F2 is our sister league F3. Same as Equal Performance, but they run the exact same time as us. So guys, get on the YouTube, Invictus Racing League YouTube, and watch them all back. You've got a lot. If this is your first one this week, you've got a lot of catching up to go. But yeah, we break now until Monday. However, I believe Waris and I will be doing our new segment, which we don't know the full title of it yet. It was Hot Laps, but it is changing. We're going to be joined by some of our guest racers from F2, F3, no assists and performance throughout the rest of the season and next season. But also, Waris and I will be picking up where our great, amazing commentators, Gareth and Sab, have been doing and giving you the rundowns of the leagues. Their podcast, which, if you've not listened to it, guys, get yourselves on there and listen to it. It's a brilliant podcast. But they are deciding to move away from the Invictus Racing League stuff and go straight to F1 and solely of F1, which I believe is called The Final Word, with the I being the 1, which is quite clever. So yeah, guys, get amongst that. Subscribe to it. Gareth and Sab are absolute brilliant commentators and even better podcasters. So get in the mix, get involved. Waris and I will be taking the lantern from those guys regarding IRL and the results of the tables and each race that happens each week. We'll be doing that.
We could almost call it the IRL preview hot laps or something, because I think we'll also be discussing the coming week. We'll be driving the coming track, so we'll figure it out. But I think it's going to be exciting, and I'm really looking forward to do it with you. I think we're still keeping it at 7 o'clock.
I believe so, mate. Yeah, 7 o'clock. So we'll start off with that Waris and I's hot lap segment, where we get either a guest or 2 guests on in qualifying mode. We'll let the 2 guests go out and set a qualifying lap individually, and then we'll see if our reigning champion Warislander can beat it or whatever. And then after that's happened, we'll go back to IRL, give you a rundown of what's happened the previous races, and then a little bit of a sneak preview of what we've just done in hot laps about the next week. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. It's a new segment coming. I just want to say a big thank you to Gareth and Sab for all the work they've done doing the Invictus Racing League podcast. It's been thoroughly enjoyable, but it's going to be a new era. The final word's coming. I'm super looking forward to that. So do tune in, guys. And if you are signing up or you're subscribing, make sure you hit that bell in the right-hand corner. That'll let you know every time any of our channels go live. That's No Assist, that's Performance League, and that's F3 and F2 Equal Performance, and as well as the final word. So guys, get involved. Waris, again, fantastic co-coms, mate. It's such a pleasure doing it with you. I can't thank you enough, mate. But yeah, for me that was brilliant.
I can't say anything else, mate. Already looking forward to tomorrow night and to the rest of the season, really. As everyone is free to race, I guess. Not too much to fight for anymore, apart from one evening results, which always makes it exciting, makes it open and fair and exciting. Yeah, as I was saying, just exciting. Which will certainly make for some good racing. Also, the tracks invite good racing. So we're certainly not done yet, even though the championship has been decided.
Yeah, both championships as well. Yeah, so both done tonight.
Yeah, congrats also to Racing Point, because we didn't. I don't think we brought that up.
I did once,
significantly.
quite delayed, but yeah, we did mention it. But yeah, it's big congratulations to those guys.
Also to TB, obviously we didn't. It's a big job from them too. They were like also as outstanding as Lozak was on his own. So
yeah, it is. But yeah,
good to see that.
So yeah, other than what we've said, you can follow us on Twitter. I actually forgot the Twitter handle now.
Invictus RL.
Invictus RL, that's it. Sorry, mate. Thank you for that. So you guys, get involved in Twitter as well. But yeah, Waris, we're going to sign off now. Thanks everyone for watching us live. If you're watching us back afterwards, thank you again for getting those views in. We'll join you tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the Hot Laps preview rundown show, if we want to call it that. We'll figure the name
Something
out, guys.
like that.
We'll figure
if
the
you
name
put up
out.
the notifications, you don't need to look it up.
That's it. Make sure you subscribe, no matter what we call it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so no matter what we call it, we'll get there. But yeah, thanks again for joining us. Join us tomorrow at 7. Waris, thanks again, mate, and I'll catch you tomorrow at 7, Mud.
Goodbye, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Bye-bye.